D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So they dropped this. Okay, so this article is a little older. And I had seen it and I saved it and everything. And I wanted to go over it because I thought it was interesting. With Star Wars going on, you got the Andor show and everything, and you got Mandalorian coming out next year, and you got all these animated shows. I wanted to check out this concept art from Colin Trevorrow's episode 9. And this article, points out, I think, 10 pieces of concept art. And I'm fascinated with movies that never got made. I think that it's interesting to see, what somebody had in mind and what they were planning on doing and all that stuff that that I just always, just want to see it and stuff. So I thought I would go over this article and we check out, what they're saying about this and everything. So I just, and everything. How many times am I going to say that? All right. I'm going to stop yapping and get into this article. So it's a Star Wars Duel of the Fates, 10 pieces of concept art from Colin Trevorrow's episode 9 you need to see. It says Star Wars Duel of Fates was Colin Trevorrow's vision of episode 9 before the movie became The Rise of Skywalker. Ugh. And this concept art reveals just how vastly different his version would have been. Now, this all this stuff came about. This right here is very cool. This all came about because Robert Meyer Burnett had talked about it on his show, and then it just sparked, the internet. Went back before, everybody knew anything about this because he had read the script. And I just find it fascinating. And even though I think that the sequel trilogy is garbage, I do think that would have been interesting to see Colin Trevorrow's vision. I'm pretty sure it would have been better than Rise of Skywalker because that movie sucked. Anyways, okay, The Rise of Skywalker was a major disappointment, to say the least, and a movie that tried too hard to course correct Star Wars franchise after Lucasfilm gave Rian Johnson, Potato Head, perhaps too much creative freedom with The Last Jedi. Too much, yeah, way too much. Trying to please everybody ultimately meant that no one was particularly happy, and J.J. Abrams ultimately delivered a mess. J.J. Abrams is a horrible writer. He is the worst science fiction writer of all time. He's a hack. Anything he does, it's just copy and paste from somebody else. He doesn't know how to write. Like, even this, you see Colin Trevorrow's meshings into Rise of Skywalker. He just sucks. Okay, anyways. Much has been said about the Jurassic World director Colin Trevorrow had planned for his version of Episode 9, a movie that was set to be titled Duel of the Fates, which is a great title. The prevailing opinion online is that it would have been vastly better than what Abrams delivered, a sentiment we'd agree with based on plot details we recently outlined. Now, though we've retrieved some concept art from the movie that shows just how different it could have been. That includes brand new Force powers, a completely different look for Kylo Ren, and Force Ghost moment fans have argued should have been included in Rise of Skywalker instead of a series of disembodied voices. Duel of the Fates would have been a much different movie, and you can check out for yourselves hitting the next button below. We're not going to have to hit the next button because it's just already got them up here. I hate that these things are down here at the bottom. Okay, so it says Star Destroyer Escape. So here is this concept art. It's very cool. I like it a lot. So it says Rey, Finn, and Poe Dameron are seen fighting their way through the eclipse, a new kind of Star Destroyer, in this exciting piece of artwork. They intend to take down a power shaft that supplied raw ore to First Order factory below during this opening battle. But things swiftly go awry for our heroes, which is why they're now on the run. Rey was set to combine Luke Skywalker's lightsaber with her signature lightsaber to build her own Jedi weapon, hence why she's now using a double-bladed lightsaber in this scene. That makes way more sense than her trying to mend a lightsaber that was split in half during the events of The Last Jedi. Anyway, Rey, Finn, and Poe were planning to seize the Star Destroyer, providing their fellow rebels with a powerful new weapon and dealing A huge blow to the First Order in the process, regardless of the Resistance plot, would have ultimately failed. So that right there is very cool. I think that's a good idea right there. Kylo Ren's redemption. While it was happening, Kylo Ren was searching for an ancient weapon on the opposite side of the galaxy that he would use to defeat Rey and his mother's army. He'd have discovered a Sith holocron, a message from Palpatine instructing him to find Tor Valum, a Sith master and Palpatine's tutor, which an encounter with Luke's Force Ghost on Mustafar. However, the holocron would have released a flash of red Force lightning, leaving Kylo Ren severely hurt and hideously scarred. Why? Because it could sense that inside he was still torn between his light and dark sides. In this piece, we see the villain being cared for and nursed back to health by some of the planet's citizens, shocked by their selflessness and what happened with the holocron. Kylo was going to start to realize the redemption might be possible and that there was still good within him. And I think this is very cool. You've seen him on Mustafar, but you've seen him kill those people to get to a holocron, to get to the weird planet with Palpatine on it, it made no sense. But anyways. Okay, a general and a princess. This is beautiful right here with Carrie Fisher with the long hair. It's beautiful. Yeah, and I love the one where it's her and she's like kneeling down to give BB-8, almost like a R2-D2 kind of moment, like from episode 4. Sorry. Anyways, Trevorrow's episode 9 script called for Carrie Fisher's General Leia Organa to spend a significant portion of the film assessing an army and trying to assemble people around the galaxy to rebel against the First Order once and for all. Yeah, she gets Lando Calrissian, and then even Bosk shows up at the end. It sounded very cool. After Fisher passed away, it was decided to kill off her character early and give Poe Dameron and Chewbacca her character's story arc. For example, they would have been the ones to track down Lando Calrissian in a bid to convince him to join their cause rather than Leia. The Princess and General is seen in this piece of concept art on the brand new planet Korilev that would have been the Resistance base. And in both versions of the plot, Leia was going to be deeply affected by Kylo Ren's deeds. With that in mind, it is easy to understand why she appears to be so dejected in the picture. Then after her death, they should have just killed her off that second movie and just not have her do the Mary Poppins scene. Because I was like, listen, Carrie Fisher was, or they should have just recast and did that whole digital thing. But, Lucasfilm right now doesn't know how to run Star Wars. So anyways, fighting the Knights of Ren. The Knights of Ren and Duel of the Fates would have each had unique names and personalities despite being glorified stormtroopers in The Rise of Skywalker. One of them was even supposed to be revealed as Kylo Ren's rival, who also accessed the Sith holocron and later tried to assassinate both Rey and Kylo in order to usher in a new age of Sith. However, many of them would still have perished, and in this image, Chewbacca is seen seizing one of the knights by the throat. The leaked script states that he would have flung the villain into the air before shooting him out of the sky. What a way to go. That would have been very cool. This is a very cool piece of concept art anyways. Like, Chewbacca is awesome. So it says there was a draft of the script with the aforementioned female knight emerging as a deadly new threat and the movie's main villain. But for the most part, they were cannon fodder. We can blame J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson for treating them as unimportant background characters in their movies. For that, of course. Yeah, they suck. Kylo Ren's new helmet. In this movie, Kylo Ren didn't track down the fragments of his previous mask and put them back together. Instead, he'd have created a new helmet for himself after the Force lightning that erupted from the Sith holocron left him with the terrible scars he did, after all, destroy his previous one in The Last Jedi. This concept art depicts him sitting in a chair that isn't all that dissimilar to the one Darth Vader was shown in during Empire Strikes Back. It's a sinister and terrifying mask that's obviously molded after what Vader once wore. Though it also seems to draw inspiration from stormtroopers, the Knights of Ren, and helmets used by warriors on Mandalore, it's difficult to determine why Abrams and Trevorrow chose to bring back the original version, as a new version would have been fun to see. Yeah, I question everything they did in these three movies. Kylo Ren meets his new master, and this guy looks pretty cool. This Tor Valum. So it says, all right, let me just hold on, give me 2 seconds. There we go. While the final draft of Trevorrow's completely scrapped, his subplot in favor of the female Knight of Ren going rogue, the original version was going to send Kylo Ren to the Sith Temple on Remnicor, shown here. There, he would have come face to face with Tor Valum, heading down a dark path of a brief shot at redemption. The Supreme Leader was going to destroy his weak grandfather's helmet during an outburst on Coruscant. Later, Kylo is led to the Virgins in the Force, where he would have faced Darth Vader after discovering how the Sith can prolong their lives by sapping the life force from other creatures. Since Valum was characterized as having a Lovecraftian appearance and being over 7,000 years old, his debut was bound to introduce some intriguing new wrinkles in the galaxy's past. In the end, the former Ben Solo would have fallen short of outdoing his grandfather in a cave fight, clearly meant to pay homage to Empire Strikes Back. The First Order's prisoner. The Jedi Temple is located on Coruscant, and the iconic location was once set to play a significant role in Duel of the Fates, which would have been cool to see that if they had done all of this. But they didn't, because they all suck. It was set to be the First Order's headquarters and the location of the movie's final battle, when Finn and Rose inspired the inhabitants of the planet to rebel against their captors. This hard-hitting piece of artwork depicts Finn as a First Order prisoner in a labor camp and shows how much Coruscant has changed over the years, as Rose was supposed to be who the heroes save from here in later drafts. We're guessing plans for Finn changed over time. Fans have criticized the most forgettable story arc for the Resistance hero in The Rise of Skywalker, but in Trevorrow's Episode 9, he befriended a stormtrooper and persuaded him and other deserters to join the Resistance. From there, Finn would have led an epic uprising. Yeah, they really screwed over Finn. Kylo Ren's new powers. Okay, so it says Kylo Ren would soon learn how to, by the way, this concept art is fantastic. Like this right here, and then his hand reaching out, trying to get that. That's very cool with the tree. He's sapping the life out of it. It's very cool looking. Anyways, Kylo Ren would soon learn how to sap the life energy from everyone around him, despite failing to defeat Darth Vader in a fight. Here, he's demonstrating that by drawing the energy from a tree, causing it to wither and die. As you might expect, Valum would have been disgusted by his new pupil's inability to beat Vader and the fact that he was still torn between his good and evil sides. Demanding that Kylo leave his world immediately, the ancient villain got more than he bargained for when the leader of the Knights of Ren drained his life essence as well. In the final battle with Rey, Kylo used his power against her to gain the upper hand. However, Abrams and Trevorrow would use this idea as a basis for the Force dyad, which is so stupid. Something that allowed Palpatine to use their life force to revive himself on Exegol, which was so stupid. The whole Exegol thing was dumb. Anyways, The final battle. Ooh. This concept, this is actually pretty cool. I like this double lightsaber thing for her, and I like that she was wearing Luke Skywalker's old outfit, the black and everything. This sounds like it would have been a better movie, and I think it's a bummer that this didn't get made over the crap that we got. But what are you gonna do? Anyways, this concept art depicts the final confrontation between Rey and Kylo Ren on Mortis. The duel would have included several major revelations, such as Supreme Leader Snoke being responsible for ordering the young Kylo and his knights to kill her parents with his last breath, though Kylo would have revealed that her real name is Rey Solana. Before that could happen, an epic battle would ensue, with Leia stepping in to persuade her son to finally act honorably after Kylo used raised life energy to repair his scarred face. I think it meant raise life. This version of Episode 9 kept Kylo Ren as the franchise's main antagonist and gave him only a small measure of redemption. By the time all was said and done, Trevorrow did consider that female villain as the big bad, but was clearly torn between introducing her and focusing on the former Ben Solo. And last but not least, familiar Force ghosts, which I'm just telling you like that. Like, this is just, I'll tell you what. Okay. Every version of Trevorrow's Episode 9 would have concluded with some well-known characters making their triumphant returns as Force ghosts. This would have been very cool, but they didn't do it. Characters include... There it goes. Sorry, I lost my place. I was dealing with these ads. It's so annoying. Would include with some well-known characters making their triumphant returns as Force ghosts. Characters including Luke, Yoda, and Obi-Wan Kenobi were set to appear in an attempt to save Ben, but were ultimately unsuccessful due to the severity of his wounds. Meanwhile, in the version where Rey and Kylo teamed up against the female knight, he'd have sacrificed himself, with those Force ghosts on hand to heal Rey and ensure the young Jedi would live on. Look closely at the piece of artwork, though, and it seems a number of other classic Jedi Knights would have shown, including a number from the prequel era. As cool as the voices of the Rise of Skywalker were, it wasn't that cool. This is what fans really wanted, and it's something Abrams considered before ditching the idea for whatever reason. Yeah, I think that's Plo Koon right there, and that looks like Kai Mundai, and that looks like what's the guy with the horns? I can't remember. At least that's what I think it looks like. I can't remember. But yeah, so that's all the concept art. Is this the female Kylo Ren lady? Because I thought that was Rey with the staff. But even if it is, that's still super cool. Yeah, I like this little outfit she has here, right here, because it's like she's got the Luke belt, and she kind of got the Luke. I mean, the Luke look. Yeah, this movie had such potential, and they just wasted it. I mean, it's a bummer that they did, because it could have been good. It could have been good, and they could have, saved this trilogy, but didn't do it. This is by Josh Wilding. This was a good article. I enjoyed this article and everything. Tell me, what did you guys think about this concept art? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What was your favorite concept art? Do you think this movie would have been better than what we got? Because I think it would have. But, what are you going to do? All right, tell me what you guys thought. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next Star Wars video. You guys have a good day. May the Force be with you. Bye.